up, everybody? What up, everybody? Let's talk about it. It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. What up, everybody? This is April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is 911 Season 4, Episode 3. It's crazy to think this show has had 4 seasons already, right? But the seasons are kind of short. They do take a break, and they're not very long seasons, but I digress. But this episode was really good, as per usual. All of them are really good. I don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. Go away from me, please. Sit your ass down somewhere. I'm trying to do something. Get out. Go ahead. So we start off with this man. He's waking up out of his bed with an Alexa-like device, a smart home, but it's called Hildy. And he says, "It's cold in the house, Hildy. Turn off the air." Hildy turns off the air. He goes and says Hildy brew him a cup of coffee. The coffee splatters everywhere. Put on some music. Hildy plays some death metal music. And you know, Hildy just malfunctioning, child. Just going wrong, baby. Everything going wrong. So he go to take a shower, and I'm like, Hildy ain't got nothing right yet. Hey, that didn't make no sense. But he gets in the shower. Hildy puts on the water for him. And he gets in there, and you know, the water is good at a nice temperature at first. And then we see that his girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend, is controlling Miss Hildy, honey. So she makes Hildy go up the temperature. She tells Hildy to up the temperature like 200 degrees. I'm like, girl, you trying to kill the man. I know. Listen, I understand you might be trying to get back at him or whatever, but damn. The heat goes up to like 200 degrees. He gets burned. As he's trying to get up out of the shower, he trips and falls and hit his head. And the girlfriend is like, oh shit, I got to call the police now. So Maddie is getting the directions from the girl, you know, talking about where he is. And she's kind of like, you know, asking her questions. And she's like, well, you know, you can put your hand under his nose to see if he's still breathing. And the girl was like, well, you know, I'm not there. And she was like, what do you mean I'm not there? She was like, I'm looking at him on a video monitor feed. And she was like, you looking at him on a video monitor feed, but you not there. So girl. And then she puts in the call for Thena to show up at Miss Lady house. Thena shows up at Miss Girl's house, and Miss Girl is going to jail, honey. Miss Honey is about to go to the penitentiary. Miss Honey about to go to the penitentiary for playing with this man's life, okay? Oh, so the whole time the crew has arrived to the house, you know, they help the man. They get him out of there alive or whatever. But like as they're going into the house, Buck and Eddie are talking, and they're talking about different things. And you know how Alexa is. Well, not Alexa. Alexa don't do that. But the smart home picks up on them talking about the coffee maker. And, you know, she's like, do you want to hear about coffee makers? You know, I can tell you the ones with the best reviews or whatever. And Eddie is like, nah, cut that off. Like, I ain't got time for that. And she listens to everything. He's like, Buck is like, if you have a cell phone, if you have anything that's like of importance, like technology, you have people that can spy on you and watch you. Like, relax, okay? Like, it is what it is, player. They help the man or whatever, but this is going to be an ongoing issue with Eddie throughout this episode. Back at the house, Thena and Bobby now have like this electric vacuum, or I think it's a vacuum. It's like one of those little robots that go across your carpet. Really, it's a vacuum. That's what it is. And May bought it for them, and they're like, you know, talking about May and her situation working at 911. And Thena is just like, you know, I just didn't think that it would go this far, you know, and I can't believe she doing it for me. And Bobby was like, well, you know, you can't really tell her nothing because she doing it for you, right? So she's being sweet. And that Thena was like, well, I know, damn, that's why I can't say nothing, because she doing the shit for me. Okay, so like, I won't say something, but it is really nice. So he was like, she outmaneuvered you. And she was like, yeah, I guess she did outmaneuver me. So we're in gross anatomy class with Hen. And we see that it's time to cut open the cadavers. Now, the reason they still do this and they don't do it digitally per the doctor is because, you know, they need to know what it looked like to cut open a human body and not be about to puke, which is what Lewis is about to do. He is the one who is closer to the clavicle. I think that's the clavicle, right? That's the clavicle. He gonna have to cut it or whatever. So he started he about to puke. So the other girl takes over, and she got a little attitude or whatever, but she takes it out of his hand and she cuts it, and as she cuts it, she passes out. I'm like, girl, you had all that attitude, and here your ass is on the floor. We see that we got a call to 911 right after this. Chimney is putting up the crib, and they baby proofing the house with Buck. They asked about knowing the sex of the baby yet, and she said no, she wanted to wait. You know, they having an ultrasound pretty soon, so they want to find out about that together. And he's like, you know, I got some names for the baby. You know what I'm saying? Buck, Buckley, you know, Evan. Evan will be a good name because Evan is his real name, y'all. If y'all don't know that, his name is not Buck or Buckley. We don't ever call him Evan, but that's his name. He tells them about the person that he's seeing now, because Chimney makes a joke about the therapist. So he tells them that he's not a new girl. He's not seeing a new girl, that he's seeing a therapist. And they're like, oh my God. Maddie immediately raises concerns like, oh my God, why are you seeing a therapist? And he was like, it's not about the job. You know what I'm saying? It's not a job shrink. It's a shrink for my own personal, issues or whatever. And he was like, everybody have issues. I'm just trying to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? And we can see that Maddie, her spirit is vexed. Okay, baby, her spirit is troubled. And we're going to find out why a little bit later. So we see Luis and Hannah working on the body, because you remember they called 911 on the person that fell out. Homegirl, I don't know her name. We just going to call her homegirl. So she popped back up all of a sudden looking at the chart. And they like, wait a minute, hold up. Didn't we call 911 for you? And she was like, 911, they're not anything but Uber drivers. Basically, hospital Uber drivers. Their opinion doesn't matter. I said... And Luis was like, Hannah's a paramedic. And she was like,
oh, okay.
Like, not my bad. Not I'm sorry. I was like, girl. Hen tries to give her some advice about how to cut into the body. You need to put a little bit more pressure, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, homegirl pop up with an attitude, and I would have been like, wait a minute. I know him was like,
I know you did it.
I know she wanted to yank her ass, okay? Because Miss Girl had a whole lot of attitude, baby. You had way too much attitude for me. She says this patient died of cancer, and she realizes that because there's a port, chemotherapy port or whatever. Now, when she said that, I clocked that she had cancer, y'all. The girl looked pale in the face, and she just looked tired and through. You know what I mean? I was like, she got something, because you're passing out and you got a damn attitude. Hen is like, listen, are you okay? There's no need for you to be embarrassed. She was like, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. See? You had one more time to holler at me if I'd have cussed you clean out in front of everybody in that room. Period. Okay? Too much. She said, I don't need nothing from you, girl. I call you when I need a ride to the hospital. Baby, she would have got snatched right there. I don't know if I would have snatched her, but I would have gave her a verbal ass whooping right up in front of everybody, because at this point, she's been loud and she's been ignorant with him more than once. So whatever verbal lashing she was going to receive, she deserved that shit. Okay? She deserved it. You see, Buck and Maddie are talking, and she kind of goes to him and is like, look, I know you didn't want to talk in front of, or I thought maybe you didn't want to talk in front of Chimney. So, what's going on with you? And he was like, well, ever since you called me sad and lonely, you know what I'm saying? That kind of like affected me or whatever. And she was like, I mean, that was like a year ago. And he was like, I know, but it's kind of true. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I live a great life. I have everything I want. And, I love people, but I just can't trust people. It's hard for me to trust people. And so she's like, have you talked to mom and dad about it? He was like, I ain't talked to mom and dad. You know how they act. You know what I'm saying? No, I haven't talked to them. He tells her, listen, I'm good, though. I'm going to the therapist. I'm doing me. I'm fixing my issues. You know what I'm saying? He says he promises that, this is something that she can't fix. And she's like, well, I ain't want to fix it. And he's like, I mean, you can't fix it. It just is what it is, girl. Worry about yourself and your baby and your man, okay? Like, just let me do me over here. Like I said, her spirit is vexed. Her spirit is troubled. You understand what I'm saying? It's something else going on, baby. So then we see a man at a bank. And now, this is right for bank robbing, because everybody got to wear a mask. So, he walk up in the bank with the mask on. Don't nobody think nothing about it. We see him click-clacking on his phone. Before he walk up to the counter, he got to write a note, because the lady can't hear him under the mask.
I got a gun, bitch. Give me all your money, ho. I'm about to rob this mother, bitch. Give me your money, bitch.
The lady give him all the money, and then we get the 911 call. So Thina arrives at the scene. She gets the footage. She gets some of the license plate. But when they pull the license plate, we find out that it's the Uber driver. It's the getaway driver, the unknowing getaway driver, because the guy got an Uber, right? So after they putting the guy in the car to probably go ask him some questions at the police station, he's like, hey, hold up. Wait a minute. You might want to see this. Child, homeboy done got another Uber. When they found his address or whatever, They find this man done got another damn Uber trying to escape them. I said, child, get out of here. So, of course, they get in touch with the Uber people, and the police is in the Uber. When they pull up, they catch the man in the damn Uber. He's like, how did you catch me? And Thina was like, technology, computer love. You finna go to jail, sir. You see Buck and the baby, like, I don't know why I want to call this little boy Daniel. What is this little boy name, y'all? Buck and the little baby, my little baby. They playing video games. Eddie comes back home and he take off the video game. He like, we're going to take a break from the internet because this is too much for me. This too much. People all in your business, okay? They watching me. They watching you. They watching me, okay? He said they watching him and he ain't got time. He ain't got time for it. Give me everything, baby. I want the computers. I want everything. I want the video games. I want the cell phones. We're not about to be on none of this. Because every time he turn around, he getting an ad for a damn coffee maker. He don't even want no coffee maker. He don't even understand why this is happening like this. Okay? Like, and Eddie, and Buck is just like, well, you know, it's called like targeted advertising. You know how you look at something on the internet, you might Google something and then you start getting ads about it all the time. But what I don't understand is when you be talking about stuff and then you start seeing ads about it all the time. Like I'm pregnant now and I know I have a registry going and stuff. So, you know, I be looking up stuff or I'll just talk about something and then it start popping up in my feed. And I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that at all. There's a documentary on Google that y'all should watch. I think it's on Hulu. I can't remember the name of it. I'll try to remember the name of it and put it in the description box. But baby, it break it down about how they market things and how they can put things, you know, higher and lower to meet your interests. Baby, it's interesting, okay? To tell you how we basically get manipulated by these companies. You see, Chimney and Maddie, they're talking, and she's crying about everything that's going on, and she's talking about how the baby is safer now, safer than the baby will ever be, and you know how everything will get harder when the baby comes into this terrible, awful, trifling, horrible world that we live in today, right? And he's saying, you know, everything is going to be okay. You know, we're going to make good choices. Everything is going to go right. Like, stop worrying about stuff. Now, he the one who always worried about stuff. Now, he's the one comforting her, right? So, and she's like, well, what if we get it wrong? What if we don't do it right? She was like, my parents weren't bad people. My parents weren't bad people. They just were bad parents. You know, maybe she'll be a bad parent just like them. So he kind of reassures her and tell her that things are going to be okay. You know, they're not going to be. But we can see, like I said, her spirit is fixed. Her spirit is troubled. So we see Henna's at the house with the kids, child. They running all over the house, fighting each other, you know, drawing on each other's face. And guess who show up at the worst time? The social worker. Now, the social worker know this kind of stuff is normal. It's chaos in the house. So she goes to take the little one into the bedroom to talk to her. And as she's going into the bedroom, somebody else is knocking on the door. Turns out it's Sydney. Homegirl name is Sydney. So Sydney shows up and Henna's like, the hell you doing at my damn house? Unannounced. Girl, I don't even know you like this. And she's like, listen, the doctor pulled me to the side and I need to talk to you because he was asking me what was going on with you in the whole situation. And I told him that, you know, everything was fine and I need for you to tell him the same thing too. And she's like, so you came over here to tell me something about you after you talked to me like you talked to me? No, ma'am. Like, first of all, you are out of damn line. She was like, well, being in medical school is important to me. I mean, Henna's like, well, bitch, it's important to me too. And she's like, nah, I mean, look at you. How many kids you got? Like, she said something smart when she walked the door, like, how many kids you got? Girl, Sydney want to get her ass beat. Okay? Like, girl, if cancer done wouldn't have took you out, I'd have took your ass to the king. You been playing with me. Okay? Like, you already got the cancer, girl. And you out here about to get beat. Girl, you need to be trying to receive all the blessings that you can, sis. And you out here talking to people real greasy. So she was like, it's important to me too. She was like, well, you know, now you good. You got kids. You got a family. I mean, you married. You know what I mean? You got bills to pay or whatever, girl. She said, all I'm trying to do is make sure that when you quit school, you don't take my reputation down with you. Girl, I know him want to drag her ass across that damn living room floor. But the social worker was there, so she couldn't cut up. You know what I'm saying? She was like, I'm good. Get the girl. And the social worker come in like, what's up? She was like, girl, she just closed the door. You see Chimney and Buck, they're at the job, and Chimney kind of approaches Buck about what's going on with the parents. He was like, you know, I love, you know, y'all or whatever. I'm going to be part of the family, but y'all never talk about your parents. Like, you never talk to them or you never talk about them. Like, what's the deal with your parents? And Buck tells them that, you know, well, he tells her that Maddie freaked out about the whole thing and he had to comfort her and all that stuff. And he was like, listen, My parents were not bad people. They just always seemed like they were just a million miles away. It always seemed like they liked each other more than they liked us. They weren't weird or had nothing, strange going on, but they were just regular dysfunctional ass people. You know what I mean? He was like, okay, cool. I mean, they ain't like axe murders. They wasn't like beating y'all down. And he was like, nah, ain't nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Then we see Thina and Hen. They have like a little heart to heart. Hen is just, after this white girl done attacked her and called her everything but a child of God, it done got under her skin. I know how it feels as a black woman to have to prove yourself when you walk into a room, right? And so she's feeling like that little voice in her head that's telling her, she can't do it. And she's like, Hen is like, girl, listen, you did this, you did that. Girl, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. You is formidable, honey. Don't you let that hoe take you down. And if she do, gather her ass. Let's figure out what's going on with her so we can figure out how to handle the situation, okay? Treat her as a patient and heal yourself. That's the word. Maddie calls her mom, and right away we know that something is wrong with this damn family, because she said the mama say, well, damn, why you calling me? You usually text me or send me an email. I said, what mama don't want to hear from their daughter on the phone, child? These people is trifling as hell. So she's like, well, have you talked to Buck? He's seeing a therapist. And the mama was like, no, what's going on? Does he know? And she's like, no, he doesn't know anything, And she's like, but maybe he should. And she was like, well, the mama said something, and she was like, well, how do you tell somebody you've been lying to them their whole life? I said, what the hell is going on now, child? Is he adopted or something? Like, I can't be putting Buck through no more stuff. Now, he been emotionally tormented for all 4 seasons. Damn. See Hildy doing a meditation exercise with the young lady, and the woman gets up to open her eyes to the world to start her new day, and she realizes, I can't see. So we get a 911 call. The police come out there. She says she never has any trouble with her eyes. She usually sees 20/20, but something is wrong. So they figure out that it's some type of, cataracts, the film over her eye, like a cataracts type of situation. But they start to figure out, what she does for a living. You know how they ask you all them questions. And she's like, I teach yoga. And they were like, what kind of yoga? And we see that she teach that damn goat yoga. If y'all ain't never seen that, it's a mess, child. The goats be standing on the people back or whatever. So this parasite basically affects goats. It's a fly. It got in her eye or whatever the parasite is. It laid some worms up in the girl eye. They had to pull the worms out the girl eye, child. So they pulled them out her eye, and now she can see. And something happens, and Eddie is up in there. He's up in there with them, and Hildy says something to him, and he get all out of skin again because, y'all, Hildy is wearing Eddie out, okay? Eddie is freaked out. Hen goes to see Sydney, and she says that Sydney says she feel like trash. You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong with her. Hen is like, I don't know what your issue is with me, because she said something like, I feel bad because my lab partner won't even give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? Before I can even say anything, she chopping me up. He was like, well, listen, I just assume that everybody is as intense as me. You know what I mean? Because I'm going so hard or whatever. And she was like, I'm just saying, like, I really need to be in this school. I really need to finish. You're a paramedic. You already probably saved a whole bunch of people's life already. And she was like, you don't have to prove yourself. And, I got to prove myself and da-da-da-da. And Hen is like, girl, hold up. Like, white people, listen. White people, I love you guys, okay? But sometimes you guys be so caught up in yourself that you don't even think about the most basic thing. I am a black lesbian woman who started being a paramedic when I was 30, and now I'm entering medical school when I'm 40. I have never been in a situation where I have felt like I hadn't to have to prove myself as soon as I walked into the room. Like, that is extremely crazy to me that sometimes y'all cannot see. I hate to use the word privilege because I feel like it's overused sometimes. But in this situation, it's a perfect word to describe it, because that's what it is. Privilege. Get out of your own privilege for a second and realize that when you're a black person, you always got to prove yourself when you walk into a room. There's certain people that are always going to view you in a certain way. So, like, the fact that she couldn't even see that for 1 second, like, you so consumed with whatever was going on with you, right? Which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. Sis got a lot of issues going on with her. But damn, like, look past yourself for 1 minute. Stop being so damn self-centered. So she's on hormone replacement therapy, and he clocks that really quickly. She has nausea, the irritability and everything that she's going through is because of that. So she says, well, maybe you should try something else. You could try the tablets or the gel or something else that's going to help you. Hen is going to be a great, they really be right here. Like, she's going to be a fantastic doctor. I would be her damn patient, okay, if she was a doctor. So she basically says that Sydney says she has she had got a double mastectomy. She had all these issues because her mom and her grandmother died from cancer like 33, 34 years old. And she's not trying to be just the first person to graduate. She's trying to be the first person who lived past that far, because that's the extreme surgery for somebody who's so young. And most doctors would decline doing that because, she had to have a hysterectomy too. So she was like, they would decline doing that because of, because she's so young. They would be like, maybe you want to have kids or something like that. So she took the extreme step because, like I said, her mom and her grandmother died from a very early age. So that's why she's going so hard, and that's why she's pushing herself so hard or whatever. And so Henny was like, okay, well, you want to live past 35? Well, let's go ahead and get started. Like, if you stop being a bitch for 5 seconds, okay, you might could receive some blessings and some knowledge and some insight from this woman who's probably saved a whole lot of people's lives, like you just said, you bitch. The house, Eddie gets a delivery, and what is it? A coffee maker. And it says, a gift from Hildy. It was hilarious to watch him open that box and freak out, okay? His son, little baby calls Buck and is like, we got him. So that was a cute little prank they played on Eddie. And then we see Chin and Maddie. They talk to each other. They're going to watch the ultrasound together. And he was excited about it because he missed it. He had to miss it. And so, they got the DVD. And he was like, do you know the sex of the baby already? And she was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to wait because we have missed so many things together. Let's do this together. So they sit down. They watch the video. And they realize that it's a girl. So I was like, oh, they're having a girl. Just because I having a baby, now I don't want to make it about me. You know what I'm saying? I have the information about the sex of my baby, but I have not looked at it yet because we're going to have a gender reveal at the end of this month. And I might stream live for the people who care. I might stream it live so y'all can see what the gender of the baby is going to be as well. So the father, he already knows because he helped him plan the gender reveal. He wanted to know, so I got to wait. Child, they're going to plan it for the end of the month. Child, I got to wait all the way to the end of the month to find out if I'm having a boy or a girl. But I'm going to be happy whatever the Lord sends me. Even though I wanted a girl, I'm going to be happy whatever the Lord sends me. Because I like boys too. They cute. I got 2 nephews. I love them. We see Thena and May are talking. So May comes home from work, and Bobby too. May comes home from work, and she's so late because she had to see a therapist. They want her to see a therapist because of her age and because of her past suicide attempt. She didn't feel like it was necessary to lie to the people because, they called 911 when she tried to kill herself. And so she said she was just tired of talking. She had talked to people all day, so she was tired of talking. And Bobby is like, well, maybe it's good for you to talk or whatever to people. You should always have somebody that you can talk to in this line of work. Because Thena is like, well, it was only going to be for a while. Once they see that you can handle yourself, they won't have you do this all the time. And so when Bobby says that, she counters with, he said something about her therapist, and she was like, I used to see the therapist. I don't see the therapist no more. And he was like, okay, well, and he goes to say something. She was like, I know, I understand your concern, but I don't need nobody to baby me. And so Bobby took offense to that, which I would have too, because we all know that Bobby is alcoholic. He goes to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and stuff like that. So basically, you kind of insulted him by saying, well, you need somebody to baby you, but I don't need nobody to baby me. I'm over it. And I personally don't think that she's over it that quick. It's going to flare up. This is foreshadowing. This is going to flare up. It's either going to flare up in their relationship, but she going to have to apologize because she was kind of out of line for that. You know what I mean? And you can tell that it made Bobby kind of upset. I ain't like that. Bobby came on a helicopter to get you last week. Don't be talking to Bobby like that. Don't do that, Thena. But then we see Chimney and Maddie again, and they're talking. Maddie has finally decided, listen, you're going to be in the family. I can't hold this shit no more. I can't hold it. I can't hold it on the inside no more. I got to tell you what's going on. So I guess she begins to tell him whatever the secret is about Buck. So you know that he gonna tell Buck, or it's gonna come up some kind of way, baby. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then we get a whole new scene. It's a new day, and they have gotten a call to go down in Texas to help with some fires or something that's going on in Texas. So it's about to be a 911 Lone Star crossover. I'm ready for it. Is 911 Lone Star on already, y'all? Am I missing something? Did the season start? I do like 911 Lone Star. I watched the first season. I thought it was cute. You know what I'm saying? But I personally prefer the original 911. But I thought it was a cute episode. So, like I said, always a good episode. Always exciting. Not as nerve-wracking, thank you, God. But a very good episode. So, I want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And share my video with all your friends. And I will holler at y'all next week.